You may have heard people talking about using AI to help you in your business, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to be walking through how you can use Claude to help you with your business finances. I'm a former country controller and Fortune 500 CFO, and I've spent the last 4 years working with creatives and small business owners, and I know that it can be so overwhelming, along with all the other things that you're dealing with, to try and get your finances organized when, for example, you don't really like spreadsheets, numbers, or you're trying to understand what all this jargon is. So this is a quick way to get set up in an afternoon and with one simple monthly habit. So let's jump into the tutorial and I'm going to walk you through how it works. All right, we're now in Claude and this works even with the free version of Claude. So I'm just going to show you first what you want to do is you want to come over here to projects, and you click on projects. It's going to take you to this page here, and then you click new project, and then let's just call this accounting. Exciting. Now, the main reason that I'm using Claude and I'm using a project is that one of the things that can make AI unreliable if you're going to use it with your business finances, a couple things. But the first one is that when it's answering questions or when it's you want to use it over and over again, it's really important that it has the right context, that it remembers exactly who you are, what type of business you have, what country you're in, what country your clients are in, things like that, so that it actually answers the question based on like your actual situation. And that's one of the big things that I've found is that I've tested different things, is that it often will forget or it'll keep pulling in things that are not relevant. And so it's a little bit hard. You want to kind of create exactly what this project does, which is a little folder where it has the information it should take into account every time, and then also what it has here, which is instructions, which is how it should behave, and what it's going to help you with, and all that kind of stuff. So this is the next thing that you're going to do. So I have a free guide, and I'm going to put a link in the description. I'll just show you here. This is what the guide looks like. Has some information, and then it literally has a copy paste instruction, so you can click copy. And then we're just going to go back to Claude and we're going to add it here. Paste, and this is what's going to tell it what knowledge it should have, how to behave, what it's going to do for you, questions that it should ask you, things like that. So you save those instructions. Now all we have to do then is type "Hi Claude." And then it's going to start asking us, gathering the information that it needs to do this correctly. So once I've answered the questions, you're going to see here it's given me a little like summary of the information that I gave it, which was like, I'm US based, I'm a sole trader, and what my business is doing. I'm selling candles online. This is the sample business. And so what it does, and this is again like the part for understanding, is this scary? Am I like, can I trust AI? Is that using this specific method, this is basically exactly the same as what your accountant or your bookkeeper would be doing, which is it's going to take your bank transactions, so you provide your bank transactions, and then it's going to take publicly available accounting rules like tax or legal and apply those rules to the information that you gave. You can then match this to what you're getting from your accountant, but these are publicly available rules. So it's going to suggest the labels that are relevant for your business, and then what it's going to do is it's going to help take every transaction and put a label on it. Now the label just says, okay, what is this transaction for? And it allows basically your statement to become a report or a summary, or to group together things, like add things up. You don't need to know all the details if you're not interested in that, but you probably will recognize when it's your business. It'll look, like what things are. So anyways, it's just going to suggest some categories, and these are based on, again, should be the same categories that your accountant would use or for your tax return. And then it's just going to ask me to confirm that. And now it's summarizing everything for me again, just to make sure that it's correct, the information that it has and the labels. And now I can add my first bank statement. So I'm just going to copy paste an example bank statement for this business. So now I've uploaded my first bank statement, and then there's a couple transactions where it's not sure what the transaction is for, so it's going to ask me to confirm. So usually this is relatively simple. So for example, from the bank statement, there's 6 items, and it's just confirming, for example, Amazon ads. Can you please confirm this is advertising? New candle molds, is this cost of sale, goods sold? So if you weren't sure what cost of goods sold was, you could just ask it what that is, and then it can help clarify. You can just confirm. I'm just going to put here, these look right. You see that now it's just creating little rules for my bank statement. So what this means is that once you do this once, it's going to remember, for example, like when it says Stripe deposit in your bank account, that means it's revenue, like the different labels that are attached to different types of transactions. So this means it's going to get faster and faster, because if you tell it, this is a payment to a contractor, or this is a payment for a new iPhone or something like that, it's going to remember, and you won't have to keep answering every single time. So I'm going to just say that these look right. And then it's going to ask me if I want a clean file that I can download. So this is something that I can give to then my accountant, because all of the transactions have been classified, and I can also keep it for myself because I have a clean file. Again, this is the basis for reporting your accounts, your tax, everything, and it will also give me a summary. So I'm going to ask for both. Now it's given me a little summary from that bank statement. It's telling me like total that came into my bank account, the total that went out, and what's left, and it's also done a little breakdown of, for example, the things that went out, what did they go to, so I can take a look over. If I had questions, I could ask questions, but it's also, again, it's giving me this clean file, so I could literally go through, I can see all the transactions. If I don't know what something is, I'm not sure, you can just write a little note. You can also go through and mark off which ones you have receipts for, if you want to do that. But hopefully you can see that this is pretty quick, and when it's your own business, it's definitely much easier to recognize. Sometimes there's mysterious bank charges because the name of whatever went through is something you don't recognize, and you have to kind of dig around to remember, but it should get easier and easier. And it also, again, it provides this summary, and you can ask questions if there's something that you're not sure about. But from this, I hope that this makes sense, and that you can see how useful this could be in your business. It doesn't take a lot of time. This is why I created this guide, because I really want to help people make this easier, especially if you don't like numbers and stuff like that. There is a link to the guide, which is free, in the description below. And I hope this, like I said, I hope this helped you, and I will see you in the next one.